Out in front over there. Oh, yeah. Back in November, right in the back.
The only thing I would have would be if I don't even have any left.
Martin, grab a helmet.
Hey, who's got the O-line? Hey, there we go! Very nice. Step up 5 yards, everybody. Step up 5. Step up on the 45. Line it up!
Give me a root beer.
A root beer?
Yeah.
Hey, that's $1.
$1?
Yep, that's how much they cost.
Hello again, this is Drew Riley from Harefield in Hillsboro for the second home game here at Harefield, and we're just about ready to kick it off, and I throw it to our new play-by-play guy, Dave Hall. Dave, take it away.
All right, Thunderbolts ready to kick off. Mark Savarich on the kick. It's away. A short kick, going to be taken by the Cavaliers at the 20, out to the 25, out to the 30, and out to the 31-yard line. Will they'll start their offensive possession, 1st and 10.
That wasn't a bad return on that, Dave. They got all the way out to the 31. It was a bit of a short kick, and we can get the name of who returned that.
Mark Rosas on the return, out to the 31-yard line.
And so the Thunderbolts, 1 week removed from being removed from the ranks of the undefeated, will now try to bounce back here against the Calves.
The 0-7 Calves, Drew.
0-5 in the league, and things have not went well for the Vancouver Cavaliers this year. Last year, they were 1 game out of the playoffs. This year, way out.
Jake Winslow at quarterback for the Cavaliers' I formation. Receiver split wide left and right to start. The snap fumbled on the ground. Loose ball. And the Thunderbolts have it.
It looks like the Thunderbolts came up with that one. And the funny part about that play, Dave, is that everybody went after the center and the quarterback. The center snaps the ball, that starts the play, but it seemed like everybody else stood around and waited for something to happen.
The quarterback never had the ball that time. He got it on the snap on the end of his fingers and dropped it. When the ball's on the ground, the Thunderbolts take advantage of it. And so 1st and 10, the ball at the 28-yard line with 13:50 left to go here. We're just underway. Ryan Ivanoff gets the start for the Thunderbolts. They'll shift into the I formation, and they have receiver split wide left and right. They're strong side right. There's a handoff to the tailback, turns the corner up to the 26, a gain of 2.
And Dave, you weren't here last week, but the first time Calvin Simpkins touched the ball last week, he went 60 yards for a touchdown, ended up rushing for 218 yards, which is a single-game NWFL record for a league game.
All right, Simpkins' first carry tonight. Well, I should say this afternoon because it's not nighttime. 2 yards on the carry, 2nd and 8.
And looks like we have a clock stoppage for some reason here. We'll find out what that's all about.
And the Cavaliers want to take a timeout. Second down for the Thunderbolts. They shift strong side left this time. I formation, Ryan Ivanoff, the quarterback. The snap, Ivanoff wants to throw, rolls left, under pressure, throws to the outside, complete to Simpkins at the 30, the 25, and hit. And Simpkins down to the 23.
And from the body language, I don't know if that was really what was supposed to happen. It looked like they were going to try to go right, and then the pressure came from the right, and he had to roll left, and luckily Simpkins was wide open out there in the flat to get a few yards out of that play when it didn't look all that promising to start out with.
The ball spotted at the 24. They need to get to the 18, so it'll be 3rd down and 6.
And this has been a problem that has cropped up a bit with the Thunderbolts this year. They get the ball deep into the territory, and for some reason, they have trouble punching it in. So let's see if they can reverse that trend today.
Not yet inside the red zone. Ivanoff, the quarterback. The deep I formation. Motion to the left. That's the fullback. They fake the handoff to Simpkins. Ivanoff the throw. He has a receiver open down at the 15 and incomplete.
Yeah, Andre Harris, the number 1 receiver for the Thunderbolts, and he just slipped and couldn't come up with it. That's Alonzo Harden, that's the fullback. Now, he hasn't normally been the fullback. In fact, he started as the tailback for this team, but because of his size and speed and his blocking ability, and because Calvin Simpkins is such a great athlete, the coaches decided to put him at tailback and put Bronco Harden as the fullback.
Well, the pass was on the money that time, and the receiver had to lean forward a little bit. It's kind of slipped. So the Thunderbolts will go for the field goal. Ivanoff to hold. Mark Savarich at the kick. The line of scrimmage, or the spot, will be at the 31. It'll be a 41-yard attempt. And the T-Bolts take a timeout. Field goal attempt coming up. Just past the 31-yard line. Savarich will be a 41-yard attempt. Angle to the left. The snap, it's down. The kick is away. It's up. Looks like it's going to be short. It is. It's short. And it'll come back out to the 20.
And by Northwest Football League rules, they'll actually take that out to the 24-yard line, which was the line of scrimmage. They used the old pro rule on that.
All right.
So 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers. If he would have made that field goal, that would have been the first made field goal for the Thunderbolts offense this year. They haven't had to take many because usually they can punch it into the end zone when they have, but that's only like the 2nd or 3rd time they've had to settle for a field goal attempt this season.
All right. Well, Andy, it looks like they're bringing it out to the 20.
They must have changed the rule again because they seem to change the rules. Tim and I always talk about this, and they seem to change the rules week by week, it seems.
All right, Jake Winslow, the quarterback, the I formation. Receiver split wide left and right. Winslow wants to throw, steps inside. He'll be hit for a loss. Back to the 15.
James Hilliard on that play, and not a guy we've seen make a lot of big plays. We've seen this defense make a lot of plays this year, like Greg Gadboys, and there's a player down.
We have the injured player down on the field.
Yeah, I think that's what he was asking for, to see if they have something like that. There's an old football 63. Okay. Oh, that's where was that change that they made on that?
Loss of 3 on the play for the Cavaliers. The injured player, the left tackle, number 63. 2nd down and 13 for the Cavaliers. The line of scrimmage to 16. Winslow, the quarterback, he's from Tumwater, one of the high school football powerhouses in the state of Washington. I formation, receivers wide left and right. Winslow, the long count, pitch to the tailback, and he's hit behind the line of scrimmage. Going to be a loss all the way back to the 13.
Aaron Dressler, one of the, actually the middle linebacker for the Thunderbolts, in on that tackle, the first guy in. And it looks like that the Cavalier offensive line is really porous right now. Hilliard got through for a 3-yard loss in that first play, and there's, another couple 3 yards again.
Drew, there's been 3 offensive plays, and so far it looks like the Cavaliers have yet to make any forward momentum. Quarterback dropped the first ball, and then 2 balls where the back has not made any forward momentum. So the Thunderbolts doing a great job at penetrating at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I think the Thunderbolts suffered the indignity last week of going from the 5th-ranked defense to the 9th-ranked defense in the league, and they're looking to atone for that, and this is certainly a good start to getting back up there.
All right, receiver split wide to the left, double receivers wide to the right, lone setback. Winslow pitches to the tailback, and he's going to throw that tailback option pass outside, incomplete, down around the 40-yard line.
That was McCray, and he almost made the sack. So on 4th and long, they're going to have to kick. And so the Thunderbolt defense, tough as usual, putting pressure on the quarterback constantly, something I've seen all year long. So now it'll be up to the offense to punch this baby in if the special teams doesn't do it themselves.
First real offensive series for the Cavaliers results in a loss of 6 yards, so that'll improve the defensive statistics. Punt formation for the Cavaliers, Andre Harris deep to receive, standing back around the 37-yard line.
I can't name a defensive coordinator that wouldn't take negative 2 yards as an average yards allowed per play.
There's the snap, the kick, a high kick but not very far. It's going to bounce around the 45-yard line, does, and the Thunderbolts will let it go. And down at the 47 where the Thunderbolts will start on offense.
And a pretty high kick, and actually the punter had the wind at his back, and maybe that helped it a little bit, but didn't get out of their own side of the field. So now great field position, 47 yards away from a touchdown. And again, we'll see if Ivanov and the offense can get it in.
31 yards on the punt. It did not look like it was going to go that far in the beginning, but the wind did manage to float that ball forward. So the Thunderbolts will start on offense, 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll shift strong side left this time. High back formation. Ivanov the quarterback. Ivanov the pitch to the tailback Simpkins. He's going to head around, turns it inside, big hole down to the 40 and hit and knocked back to the 42.
Good block by Alonzo Harden to get him free outside. Now this is something I haven't seen them do a lot or be very successful very much with, actually running outside. Generally in the running game for the Thunderbolts this year, they've been able to run through the tackles pretty much consistently, but outside the other team's defense has just been much too quick in order for the Thunderbolts to turn the corner either way.
2nd and 4, 6 on the carry for Simpkins.
And because Nathan Berge, or Studley as we've been calling him, is out, Morgan Will is going to be the regular tight end, and he's the guy that's in motion right now.
Pitch to Simpkins. Simpkins will try the other side this time. Turns it up at the 40. We got a flag down at the line of scrimmage. Simpkins close to the first down, but there's a flag right at about the 40-yard line.
And that's probably going to come back, Dave. Yep, that's going to be holding on the Thunderbolts. So they're trying the perimeter running game. We look over at the other sideline, and we don't see very many white shirts, as opposed to how many extra blue shirts we see on the sideline on the near side. So perhaps this is a way to tire them out. Just play a lot of run or whatever. But that's definitely going to be an advantage in the second half. There's going to be a lot of tired Cavaliers come the fourth quarter.
Well, with 80-degree weather and with players that look like they're going to have to go both ways, at least some of the Cavalier players will have to go both ways, we certainly will have a outstanding fourth quarter maybe for the Thunderbolts.
And we saw Freeman Basinger Jr. last week of the Eagles go both ways, wide receiver, cornerback, and return kicks, but that guy is just a stud. Not every team has a Freeman Basinger Jr.
Thunderbolts shift out of the stack eye. They go strong side left this time. 2nd down, Ivanov to throw, sets, looks across the middle, has receiver open, complete down to the 47, and the ball came loose. Have the referees ruled that that is a fumble? We're waiting for the signal. It looked like they were looking closely.
Apparently they have, because they want to see who has the ball before they signal what way they're going to go with it. Otherwise, if they know that they would have had it, and apparently I believe I heard one of them say white ball, and that would be a fumble and a recovery by the Cavaliers.
No, the call's going to be for the Thunderbolts. As Morgan came off the field, he was signaling that it was going to be Thunderbolt ball, but the spot, the forward progress, is at the Cavalier 48-yard line. It's now 3rd down, and it'll be 3rd down and 19 to go. Well, let me back that up. 3rd down and about 10 to go.
They got the original penalty yardage back on the play.
3rd and 10. Morgan will shift strong side right this time. I formation. Ivanov drops straight back. Looks across the middle, going to throw on the outside. Down around the 15, and just incomplete. Off the hands of Andre Harris down around the 15-yard line.
You know, I think, Dave, on that play, the wind took the ball behind Harris, because that looked pretty good until just at the last second, and then somehow it went behind Harris. But that was a big gain, definitely a big gain if that wouldn't have happened.
4th down coming up, and it looks like the Thunderbolts are going to punt. Mark Savaric into punt. I've been covering the Greater St. Helens League for the last 5 years, and Savaric went to Evergreen High School, one of the powerhouses in Washington State football.
Didn't they go pretty far last year? In fact, really far?
They've made it to the Final Four a couple of times. They actually are a basketball powerhouse too, but Savaric, a graduate of Evergreen High School. Punt formation. Paul Kennedy back, Mr. Do-It-All for the Washington Cavaliers, standing back at around the 5-yard line.
When you check the stat sheets in the league website, Kennedy's is the name that you find in front of everybody else for the Cavaliers.
Low snap, kick away, short kick. Bounces at the 20 and heads backwards and comes back almost to the 28-yard line. So it takes a Cavalier bounce down there, and the Cavaliers will start on offense 1st and 10 at the 28.
And so the offense, not off to a great start for the Thunderbolts. They had good field position both times, and they just simply cannot move the ball. Luckily, the Cavaliers can't move the ball. In fact, well, they can move the ball, but the wrong way so far.
Not much offense. I think the longest offensive play so far has been that Simpkins runs of 6 yards. I think that is the longest offensive play, and we have 7:29 left to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, halfway through the first quarter, it's a little bit of a tough start for both teams. It's weather's much different than it was last week. Last week there was cloud cover practically all game long. It wasn't all that hot, but down there it is hot and humid, and if it wasn't for the wind, it would be much worse. And it looks like the Cavaliers took yet another timeout.
1st and 10 for the Cavaliers at the 20. Well, the line of scrimmage will be the 29-yard line. And I believe we have a quarterback change. I believe Marvin Jones. Well, no, let's see. Let's back up here. 27 is
Looks like Willie Dorsey.
Willie Dorsey is in a quarterback. Dorsey in a quarterback now for the Cavaliers. I formation. Hand off to the tailback. That's Saltsater. And ahead to the 32-yard line. So really the first plus offensive yardage for the Cavaliers here in the first quarter.
Yeah, their first positive yardage play, but they're still in the hole by 3 yards.
On the carry, Rick Saltsater. And the gain will be 4.
And
gain will be 3 out to the 32, 2nd and 7.
And that was rather surprising because all year long we've noticed that not a lot of opponents have been able to run up the middle in between the tackles on the Thunderbolts, although the Thunderbolts can do that themselves on offense to the other team's defense. So that was kind of a surprise.
Dorsey, 6'1", 230. Saltsater, the running back, 5'11", 220. So the big backfield in. Dorsey wants to throw. The quarterback draw, and he's going to be hit. He does manage to get it away, complete outside, out to the 39, out to the 40, and complete to number 51.
Apparently, he was lined up as a tight end, and he reported as a legal number, which is something you have to do in this league. They use the pro rule, which is if you wear an illegal number, which would be 50 to 79, and you line up as a tight end, you have to report to the referee, who reports to the defense that that person is an eligible receiver. So apparently they did that because they haven't thrown a flag, and it's a first down.
Corey McElvray on the reception that time, and he is listed as a tight end, so he did report number 51 eligible that time. When I first looked and saw 51, I thought there's no way they're throwing out there, but then I realized he had reported eligible. I formation, Dorsey the quarterback, receivers wide left and right. 1st and 10. Ball at the 39. Dorsey barks out signals, the long count. Change the play. Wants to throw. He's going to throw the little fly pattern to the outside, complete at the 50, to the 45, to the 40, and out of bounds. And the completion to number 12, Ricky Reed.
And the reason why that play was changed, Dave, is because the blitz was definitely coming. You could hear the Thunderbolts on the sideline saying, "Go, Anthony, go." That means Anthony Davis was going to try and come from, usually on a blitz, you'd like to come from the blind side, but they were coming from the seeing side, if you will, and that's why he changed it to something quick, and it ended up getting him another first down.
I don't believe Dorsey's played quarterback much before, and that was what you might routinely call a fade pattern, because he just put the ball up, but they were at midfield when he did it.
And you might also be able to call that a duck. That thing hung up in the air for a long time.
For a long time. Stack I formation. They're going to shift out of that. They'll go 2 receivers. Actually, they've got too many men on the field. They get the back off. Wide left and right. I formation. Dorsey again, changing the play. The snap, the pitch to the tailback, to the left, and hit behind the line of scrimmage.
Carl McRae again. Carl came to us being the Oregon Thunderbolts just last week, and he's already made an impact. He made a couple of good tackles last week, and already he's been in on quite a few plays this week.
Edwin Torres on the carry, and he checks out. Checking back in is Jerome Christian.
And just as the Cavaliers' offense gets into positive yardage, then they suffer a loss, so now they're going back the wrong way again.
4 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. No score. Neither team has been able to generate any kind of an offense. In fact, this is the first drive of any kind that either team has sustained, and it's been the Cavaliers. They're going to go receivers, split wide, left and right. They're in the slot right. Shotgun formation this time for Dorsey. He's going to take the snap from center about 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And too long.
Yep, I think that's going to be a delay of game penalty, Dave.
It is. Delay a game on the Cavaliers.
And when you're having an 0-7 season, that's probably the last thing you want to see is a negative yardage play followed by a penalty, which puts you even deeper in the hole. Now that makes it 2nd and 19 from midfield. Yikes.
You know, Drew, when you line up in that formation and you shift into the shotgun, that's a play that you should have already worked out, and you should have everybody on the same page. And as Dorsey got up there and shifted into that, he changed the play.
And how complicated could it be, Dave? Because you know you're going to throw the ball or give it off to the running back on the delay.
Same formation. 2nd down. Dorsey drops straight back under heavy pressure, and he's going to be hit well behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of about 10 on that play.
James Hilliard got there first. There was 5 guys on top, practically the whole offensive line. You know, I almost thought, Dave, that might have been a screen pass and that the offensive lineman let them through, but they didn't block him enough because they were just all over him.
Now it is 3rd down and 30, so all of that offensive yardage that the Cavaliers managed to get on this first mini drive that they have, they've now given back.
Good for the Thunderbolt defense, bad for the Cavaliers' offensive stats.
Same formation. Dorsey will line up in the shotgun. They'll go wide left and right, and they're in the slot right. Dorsey had time that time. He looked, he stepped up into the pocket, but just not able to see anybody and not get the pass away. High snap. Dorsey looks. He's going to throw on the outside. He has a man open out at the 47 to the 50, across midfield to the 45. Still going to be about 15 yards short of the first down. The completion to number 12, Ricky Reed.
And when you talk about the Cavalier offense, number 11 in the league, that's next to last in total offense at You'll love this number, 128 yards. That's how many total yards offense that they average per game this season. They're 12th in rushing and 9th in passing, the Cavaliers are.
Well, now the down marker says third down, but it is fourth down.
I think they'll get that changed. They're changing that now. And they are going to punt, I believe.
Now that's Marvin Jones who's lined up to punt. Andre Harris deep, standing back inside the 10-yard line.
And you got to watch out for Harris. He's a very dangerous kick returner.
Jones, the kick, a better kick this time. Harris is going to field it at the 15, steps forward at the 20, the 25, 30, 35 got a wall, 40, 45 midfield.
Forget about
there
it.
He goes.
Forget
Andre
about
Harris.
it. Forget about it.
85 yards on the kick or the punt return.
And while that play was developing, Dave, I could see the wall of blockers to the near sideline, and I knew he had the room. All that had to happen was that the blocks had to be made, and that's exactly what happened, and Harris broke it for the touchdown.
Now 85 yards on the punt return for Harris. We do have a flag down around the 2-yard line. That may be one of those celebration things.
We saw one of those last week when Kirk Jones caught a 29-yard touchdown pass late, or actually I think it was early in the fourth quarter, against the Thunderbolts.
There it is, unsportsmanlike conduct on the Thunderbolts.
And what happened was Jones caught the ball at about the 15, ran to the 1, and stopped. Literally stopped, and then waltzed in the end zone after that, which drew an immediate flag from the covering official. So apparently this taunting and unsportsmanlike stuff is not going to be put up with by the officials.
So now instead of from the 2, the point after touchdown will be from the 17. Savaric for the point after. That touchdown coming with 2:09 left to go in the first quarter. Ivan to hold. There's the snap. It's down. The kick is up. A low kick. Will it make it through? No, it does not.
Apparently that looked high enough. Maybe it just hooked off to the left. We're really fooled by the angle here. We're not down on the field. So that looked like it was good, but maybe it just hooked wide left.
With 2:09 left to go, our score.
Oh, you do?
The kickoff, the Thunderbolts back to receive Paul Kennedy and Darren Sikloven. Ball bounces. Kennedy fields it at the 20, steps forward at the 25 and out to the 28-yard line. So Paul Kennedy on the return, 8 yards on the kickoff return out to the 28. The Cavaliers will start on offense there, 1st and 10, down 6-0.
And Dave, how many times have we seen a short kickoff like that where the ball bounces, the first wave of defenders or coverage guys go right past the ball, and then the returner has nothing but real estate to go into the end zone? That almost happened there if it wasn't for one particular Thunderbolt player, and I believe that was number 49, and we'll try to, I know who that used to be. That was Jesse McCain. That used to be Jeff Jones' number. He has a different number now, but thanks to McCain, he had a lot of room if he got past McCain.
I've been doing games for 20 years. It's the first time I've seen a kickoff return man who wore a number between 50 and 80.
Yeah, and we also saw probably one of the first times we'll ever see a pass receiver or a tight end, number 51, but there he is right now.
All right, Dorsey at quarterback still. This time they'll line up in the I. Saltslater, the deep back. 1st and 10. Split wide left and right. Dorsey option down the line of scrimmage. He's going to keep it, turns it up himself. Dorsey out to the 32 and a flag down. A gain of 7, but we have a flag.
And one of the exceptions, well, actually, starting this fall, it will not be an exception to the high school rule, and that is we have 2 types of face masks. We have, just like the pros, the 5 and the 15, and that looks like the 5-yard variety right there.
The difference being the 5-yard is when you grab a hold of the face mask and let go, and that's a 5-yard penalty. The 15-yarder is when you grab on and you make the tackle, and that is an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty and a 15-yarder.
Generally, when you grab the face mask and you twist, turn, pull, add anything onto it, that's when they'll call the personal foul. And generally, when the official gives the personal foul signal first and then the face mask, it's going to be 15 yards.
With the penalty, the ball now spotted at the 37-yard line, and that makes it 1st down and about 1. I formation. Wide left and right. A lot of teams use this as a passing play. We'll see what the Cavaliers do. They're going to throw. Dorsey under pressure, heavy pressure, rolls, gets a block, looks downfield, pump fakes, throws, and incomplete. No, intercepted. Intercepted at the 45, cross midfield to the 45, to the 40, and on the interception,
Kenny Land came up with the interception, and guess who came up with the tackle to save the possible touchdown? The quarterback, Willie Dorsey. And now we have an injured Cavalier on the field here.
Dorsey pump faked and then got that ball away and intercepted, and we have another player, another injured player holding his knee down on the field, down around the 40-yard line.
I believe it's number 96, and that's Neil Huntley. So I believe we'll take a break here.
The injured player walked off the field, number 96. Let's see, that was Neil Huntley. Looked to be okay, so it's 1st and 10 Thunderbolts. The ball at the Cavalier 39-yard line. Last time the Thunderbolts had the ball, Andre Harris went 85 yards on the punt return for the touchdown. Ryan Ivanoff, the quarterback, I formation. The handoff to the tailback straight ahead. That's Simpkins to the 35, 30, to the 25, has a hold to the 20, and down to the 19. And there's the horn, signaling the end of the first half. Our first quarter, I'm sorry. Our score, Thunderbolts 6, Cavaliers nothing.
I forgot they had to bring that out because the horn isn't working on that. 20.
Simpkins 20 yards on that carry that time. First down, Thunderbolts at the 19.
Looks like they're going to pass this time. Simpkins is the middle receiver.
Trip receivers left. And there's the completion to the 20, to the 15, inside the 15 to the 10, and inside the 10 on the completion to Andre Harris.
And we've seen that play happen before. In fact, we saw the debut of that play last week, and it didn't work as well last week as it did there.
First down at the 19 and trip receivers left. It's an interesting formation on first down, and completion all the way down to the 7-yard line, so 12 yards on the completion from Sparks to Harris. And a first down and goal at the 6, or at the 7.
Yeah, now that it's the second quarter, Bob Cole said that Wade Sparks will play the second and third quarters, and Ivanoff will come back for the fourth quarter.
Tight end left this time, but trip receivers right. Sparks, the quarterback, handoff straight up the middle, big hole, and a touchdown. Glenn Bell on the carry, and the touchdown from the 7.
Glenn Bell, we call him the half case, because he's about half the size of what it looks like to be Casey Gallagher. So the half case with the run up the middle on the touchdown.
Bell for the touchdown, 7 yards, and it's 12-0.
Well, guess what? Well, Mr. Vandenhoff is going to try the extra. Are we on or off, Scott?
Point after touchdown coming up. Ivanoff the hold. We're short a player. Thunderbolts send in a player.
But here's Ryan Vandenacker to take the extra point.
Vandenacker sets up. Ivanoff to hold. The snap. It's down. The kick. It's up. It's good. Just made it through the inside of the left crossbar.
And the angle can fool you from up here. That didn't look like it was good, but they call it good.
All right, 14-11 left to play here in the first half. Thunderbolts 13, Cavaliers nothing. The kickoff, Savaric, going to be fielded by Kennedy at the 7, to the 10, 15, out to the 20, out to the 23, and hit a knock back.
And Sal Corona pushed off the pulpit as one of the starting CBs, quarterbacks, playing special teams and getting the tackle on that play.
Drew, that last touchdown, you have to look at the situation. Bob Cole, the offensive coordinator, has trip receivers right, 1st and 10 at the 7, and runs the draw play up the middle, and there was a hole as big and you could drove a truck through it. The defense just didn't see that coming.
You and I could have driven trucks side by side through that hole. That's how big it was.
No, actually, you and I could have scored on that run.
That's very
and that's
true.
Going a long way.
That is going a long way. We're not as young as we used to be, but the point you're trying to illustrate is that they stretched out the defense, and once there was that hole up the middle, forget about it. I mean, he could have ran 1,000 yards with that hole.
Dorsey, the quarterback for the Cavaliers, and for the first time we see Kennedy lined up as the deep back in the I formation. 1st and 10 at the 24. The handoff to the fullback. Now he's wearing number 66.
I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot more of that.
Scott Domingo, who's listed as an offensive lineman, 6'1", 315, lined up at the fullback position and carried out to the 20. Well, let's see.
Looks like the 25.
About the 25, a gain of 1, so it'll bring up 2nd and 9.
And even with a big guy running up the middle like that, the Thunderbolts still stop him.
Same formation. Dorsey, the quarterback, we said he's 230. Domingo at 315, the outback, and Kennedy behind them. Jesus, seems like the kind of play you'd run off-tackle blast play with that much weight in front of you. And that's what they're going to run. Here comes Kennedy. Kennedy gets to the outside. Kennedy to the 30 and out of bounds.
Again, Carl McRae to force Kennedy out of bounds and showing that lateral speed. When you see this Thunderbolt defense week by week, you wonder how anybody scores any points on them. It's just amazing what they can do. But every once in a while, they'll just give up the big play, and it happened too many times last week, which is why they lost that game.
3rd and 5 coming up for the Cavaliers. Kennedy that time looked like the blockers didn't get to the hole in time, and he turned it to the outside.
Yeah, he had no choice. And even then, he still got 4 yards out of it. 4 yards.
This time, shotgun formation, and if you'll look, Domingo is the off to the left side of the quarterback. And remember, he's 315. Kennedy lined up to the right. Dorsey to take the snap from the shotgun formation. High snap, pulls it down, straight back, going to throw to the outside, and over the head of the intended receiver out there, Mike Farley. Incomplete, and it'll bring up 4th and 5.
I remember the first time I saw that type of formation, Dave. It was a Raider-Bengal game, either in the regular season in the late 80s, when the Raiders' defensive line hit Boomer Esiason so many times that they made him cough up blood, and so they came up with what they called the double bodyguard system for Boomer, and they brought like 2 tight ends to be as extra blockers for Boomer Esiason, and they would line up either side of him just like you saw in that play. And so every time I see that formation, that's what it reminds me of.
Marvin Jones to punt. The last time we were in this situation, Andre Harris ran it back. There's the kick. Another short kick. And will bounce inside the 50 and going to be down at the 47. So that punt went 18 yards. And the Thunderbolts will get good field position at the 47.
Yeah, but pick your poison there, Dave. Would you rather kick it further and have Harris return it for a big gain or even a touchdown again? Or would you take the 18 yards and maybe hope your defense stops them?
Well, I don't think the punter intended to kick it 18 yards.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, I guess.
1st and 10 Thunderbolts. Wade Sparks in the quarterback. Now, I think the plan is to play Sparks this quarter and the 3rd quarter. Is that correct?
That is correct, and then Ivanov will come back for the 4th quarter.
All right. Trip receivers this time in a stacked formation to the right. Tight end lined up to the left. Now we have motion coming to the left. Sparks wants to throw. He does. Throws underneath. Complete. And complete to Bell. And Bell down inside the 45 to the 43.
Well, pressure coming from the backside, but too wide was number 51. That's the tight end on the other side of the field for the Cavaliers. He just didn't have enough time to get to Sparks before Sparks could throw the ball and complete the short pass. And I should tell you, Bob Colas told me he hates screen passes. He doesn't mind throwing short every once in a while, but he hates screen passes. So with him calling 75% of the plays, you probably won't see one.
10:40 left here in the first half. Thunderbolts lead 13-0. Sparks, lone setback this time. Handoff straight ahead, that's Bell. Bell inside the 40 to the 35. Big hole, 30 to inside the 30 to the 25 to the 23. And a gain of 20 for Glenn Bell.
But there's a flag down, Dave, and I think that's going to come back at will. It's holding against the 1-ton offensive line. So that's too bad. Instead of first down inside the 25, now it's going to be 2nd and long. Now, after last, but there wasn't a lot of resistance anyway.
Trip receivers left this time. Lone setback is Bell. Motion to the right. The draw play, the same play. Bell steps inside. Bell, another flag down. And Bell down to around the 35, but there's a flag down at the 45, and I think we're going to have another holding call.
I believe you're right, the way it's looking.
There it is again, holding on the Thunderbolts.
And this is another bugaboo, another constant problem for the Thunderbolt offense. When they execute, they seem to be flagged for a lot of penalties. And Tim Adams, one of our normal broadcasters, is not here today. Alludes to it a lot about how a lot of penalties are called on the Thunderbolts, and they seem to deflate a lot of offensive drives.
The interesting thing about that holding call, it was past the line of scrimmage. I mean, it was a draw play. The runner had advanced past the line of scrimmage. The hold occurred past the line of scrimmage.
And that's where the hold occurred, is where they stepped off the penalty.
Trip receivers left again. Second down. Motion, that's Harris. And we got everybody turning upfield before the snap.
Well, Andre, you might have played in the CFL, but we don't play CFL rules here. He took off just a little bit too early, and that'll even be 5 further yards. We got to be around 25 or 30 yards to go here, Dave.
Now it will bring up second down. Well, let's spot it here.
They have to get to the 37.
Second and 30. The ball at the 40. Second and 30 from the 40.
It looks kind of like the 38 to me. The Thunderbolts are at their own 38, and it looks like they have to get to the 37 of the Cavaliers. So if we do our math, whatever that is, that's about, 25 yards?
25 yards. Let's make it 25. Second and 25.
That's still a long ways.
Trip receivers left. Motion, that's Simpkins. Sparks the draw play again to Bell. Bell with a big hole again. Bell to the 45 and out to the 46-yard line. That will be a gain, though, only of 8, and it'll bring up now 3rd and 17.
And you say only because there was 25 yards to go to get the first down. Now, if that's 2nd and 2, then that's a great play and that's a great gain. So it's all relative. It all depends on the situation you're faced with.
Well, you know how the fans are. Many times with 25 to go, they don't like to see a draw play.
Absolutely not. But, again, I think all these plays are designed to tire the Cavaliers' defense out for the second half.
Split wide left and right. Strong side left. Split back formation. Sparks to throw. Drops straight back. Has a lot of protection. Going to throw on the outside. Overthrown. And intended for Anthony Jordan.
And that was too bad. Anthony Jordan was open, and he was within 3 or 4 yards of the first down. And quite frankly, I think the Thunderbolts, if Jordan catches that ball and doesn't get the first down, might have went for it. But now on 4th and long, they'll just go ahead and kick.
4th and long. Mark Savarich into punt. Jerome Christian back to receive. Standing back at about the 21-yard line.
It just seems like this game has taken forever, Dave. We're only halfway through the second quarter.
Well, we've had 2 injuries. That took some time. Savarich standing at the 30, the line of scrimmage. A low snap. Picks it up. He's going to get it away. He does. A low driving kick. Christian's going to field it. No, bounces over his head, and he's going to let it go. And into the end zone for a touchback. And that actually works out to a 55-yard punt.
However, you're looking at a net of, I believe, 35 yards because they're going to bring it out to the 20-yard line on the touchback. But the Thunderbolts almost got to that and down it at about the 2 or 1 yard line. That would have been a net of over 50 yards.
And you have to give Savarich a lot of credit. He was able to get that ball. It bounced the entire way back to him. Then he sidestepped a defender and kicked the ball, a low driving kick. Sometimes you get a lot of yardage on those when they bounce, and he did. Got 55 yards on the yardage, but down in the end zone and back out to the 20. Cavaliers will start there, 1st and 10.
And you're right, that was a good job by Savarich to get that thing off. Sometimes the punter freaks out when that thing comes out on the bounce and does something they're not supposed to do, like throw a pass or run with it. But he kept his cool, got control of the ball, kicked the ball away, got off a good kick.
Dorsey, the handoff to Saltsater. Saltsater hits into the line of scrimmage and gets to the outside, out to the 30, and across the 30 to the 31-yard line. And I believe he'll have a first down if we spot it outside the 30. And the referees do. It is a first down. 11 yards on the carry for Rex Saltsater.
There was a lot of contact with blue jerseys there. I'm not sure what happened, why maybe they just couldn't see him very well or something, but it was finally Anthony Davis, AD, who came from behind to bring him down.
The line surge that time stood the ball carrier up, but he didn't go down. He just slipped to the outside and picked up 11 in the first down.
He just looked like he bounced off a lot of bodies there, and some of them were wearing blue shirts.
1st and 10. The line of scrimmage is the 31. Dorsey, the quarterback. Now Paul Kennedy at tailback. Receivers wide left and right. And too much time.
A standard pro set offense. You'll see most of that here in the Northwest Football League. You won't see a lot of option plays. I've alluded that to personally before, that the option play doesn't work very often in this league because the athletes on defense are just much too strong and quick for the option to work on a consistent basis. You have to spring it on them. And the one time the Cavs tried the option, they did get a couple of yards, but again, if you do that consistently, you find yourself going backwards instead of forward.
And you got to have somebody with great hands as the pitch man to run the option successfully. Dorsey brings the Cavaliers up to the line of scrimmage. Kennedy, the deep back. He has great speed to get to the outside. Dorsey drops, wants to throw under pressure, and throws it in the middle. Nobody there. Absolutely nobody where he threw it, but not going to be intentional grounding.
Apparently not. Now, they do have the pro rule on that, where if the quarterback gets out of the pocket, you can throw the ball away as long as it gets to the line of scrimmage, which it did. And that was close as to whether it was outside the tackle or not, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But once again, we see the Thunderbolts defense all over the quarterback, forcing him to throw the ball before he wants to.
2nd down. 2nd and 15. And the Cavaliers will go back to the shotgun.
And there's that double bodyguard formation again.
Receivers split wide left and right. A high snap. Dorsey brings that down and wants to throw under pressure, and he's going to be called down. He's in the grasp back at the 15-yard line.
And it's Lonnie Bowden who comes up with the sack, but there was more than one Thunderbolt in there. Dressler got in there first and almost got the sack, and Bowden finally got in there and did get the sack. And that's yet another rule that they have in the Northwest Football League. You can call in the grasp on the quarterback so that he doesn't get spun around and get hurt or anything of that nature.
Well, I'll say this for Dorsey. He's 6'1". He's able to get his hands up and get those high snaps. He's also a big guy. You're not going to hit him and drag him down easily. But I'll tell you this, not much foot speed.
No. And the Thunderbolt fans, or fans of these broadcasts, will remember Jeff Thomas, who now plays for the IPFL Portland Prowlers. He was the quarterback late in the season last year for the Thunderbolts.
Same formation. It is 3rd down and a whole bunch. Another high snap. Dorsey manages to bring it down, but he's going to be hit. Let's see if that's a safety. Did the momentum carry him into the end zone, or is he tackled in the end zone? There's the signal. It is a safety.
Now, being a former official, I have to disagree with that. It looked like he was at the 1-yard line when he was pushed back, but maybe I didn't see it right. Maybe perhaps it got into the end zone and he didn't get it out. But either way, the Thunderbolts get a safety. So in a way, they get that point back that they lost for the extra point and get an extra one to tack on there. I know Calvin is in here.
I moved the camera. I thought you guys...
Safety makes it 15-0 on the punt. And you get your choice whether to kick that off or punt it. And the Cavaliers elect to punt the ball. Andre Harris fields it out of bounds at the 37-yard line, where the Thunderbolts will start on offense, 1st and 10, leading this game 15-0 with 4 minutes left to go in the first half.
And then a couple minutes from now, Dave, you'll see another NWFL twist, the 2-minute warning, the free timeout. So watch for that coming up. And we're going to start to see some big changes, especially in the backfield.
Sparks to throw across the middle, complete out to the 40, out to the 45-yard line. On the reception, Andre Harris.
Just a quick hitting play right there to get, that was actually an 8-yard gain on that play on first down, so you have to like that. But I think you're going to see Bob Cole rotate receivers and rotate running backs, and we've seen it in the past this season where they've actually rotated offensive linemen as well.
Well, I like going with the trip receivers and then coming back right away with a slant pattern. So confusing to the Cavalier defense. Right now, the offensive sets have the Cavaliers trying to figure out what's going on. Handoff to the tailback, straight ahead. That's Simpkins, across the 50 to the 45, to the 40, inside the 40 to the 35, to the 30, and inside the 30, down to the 26-yard line.
Great run, but there's a flag down, and that's probably going to come back. And it is holding against the Thunderbolts, and it's a yard past the first down marker, so you deduct the 10 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 9.
And Simpkins with a 30-yard blast up the middle that time, and it's going to come back.
Just think of what the score and what the yardage would be like right now, Dave, without the penalties. Can you imagine?
Here's the signal, holding on the Thunderbolts. We'll mark it off and we'll bring it back to right about the original line of scrimmage. So now it'll be 2nd down and about 9 to go for the Thunderbolts.
It's just scary to think of how far ahead the Thunderbolts would be right now without all these penalties. It's just unbelievably scary if you're a Vancouver Cavalier.
2:40 left to go here in the first half as we're getting down to the 2-minute warning. 15-0 Thunderbolts lead. 2 touchdowns, an extra point, and the safety accounting for all the Thunderbolt points. And all of those coming here in the second quarter.
Yeah, a surprising deal that we ended the first quarter with no score, but Thunderbolts have stepped it up a bit in the second quarter to get this 15-point lead.
Strong side right. Lone setback. Sparks to throw. Going to throw to the outside underneath. That's Simpkins at the 40. Simpkins on his feet to the 45 and tries to get to midfield. Short of midfield, but he'll have the first down out to the 49-yard line.
And that does bring us up to the 2-minute warning.
Now, that's not the end of the half. That's the 2-minute warning. But Simpkins gets the first down on the pass completion. Good for 12 yards out to the 49. Sparks to Simpkins. First and 10 at the 49 for the Thunderbolts. Wade Sparks, the quarterback. Split back formation. Sparks the handoff to the fullback, straight ahead across midfield to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, down to the 31-yard line. Alonzo Harden on the carry.
Affectionately known as Bronco, going up the middle. Once again, that offensive line, as big as they are, just powers them out. And they're going with the no huddle.
19 yards on the carry for Harden. First and 10. Sparks has Harris on the outside. Complete it to 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Is he in? Yes.
31 yards from Sparks to Harris. And a late second quarter score extends their lead. It was one-on-one. Harris had his man on an island out there. He caught the ball, juked one way, and the guy went for it, and he just got past him, and then it became a foot race, and he made it into the end zone.
I got it as close as I could to the goal. He got in.
Point after touchdown coming up here. Ivan off the hold. 21-0 our score. Thunderbolts lead with 1:34 left to go in the first half.
And it's Ryan Vandenacker again for the extra point.
Last time kind of a driving kick that just got through the crossbar. A snap, down, good hold. It's up, and that kick right splits the uprights.
Right down the middle.
And the Thunderbolts lead 22-0. Thunderbolt kickoff coming up. Mark Savarich to kick it off. Kennedy deep for the Cavaliers. Thunderbolts lead 22-0 with 1:34 left to go here. All 22 points coming here in the second quarter. Savarich with a kick, a long driving kick. Kennedy fields it at the 8, bobbles it, turns back upfield at the 10, at the 15 to the 20, little hole out to the 25, and out to the 26, 27-yard line.
And another one of the new Thunderbolts from last week, Russ Fouts, was the first guy in to make the tackle on that play. And now we'll see, we'll get a look at and see how the Cavaliers' 2-minute offense goes.
Quickly, your thoughts. What do you think about Monday Night Football with Dan Fouts and Dennis Miller?
Well, actually, you were saying just before we came back on that you should be Dennis Miller. I look more like Dennis Miller than you do, so maybe I should be Dennis. But I don't think I have the sarcastic wit that he does. But it's obviously we know what's going on there. It's all about money and it's all about ratings. So, I mean, that's not that big of a surprise to me. But Dan Fouts is a very, very solid color analyst, and that's a great choice.
Kennedy to deep back. Dorsey the quarterback. Receiver split wide left and right. 1st and 10. The pitch to Kennedy. Going to try to get to the outside. Great speed, but tackled back for a loss. Great defensive effort that time by the Thunderbolts, and Kennedy has good speed.
Jeff Jones shot the gap, came through, and Kennedy just had pretty much nowhere to go. That's a great tackle to tackle a guy that quick. He just stopped him from getting the outside. But again, when you dominate both lines of scrimmage, offensive and defensive, which is what we've seen the Thunderbolts do all year long, until last week, I mean, it's a predictable result. You're just going to see that a lot.
It's seldom when you see a guy with that speed and take a pitch that far to the outside, lose 7 yards on the sweep play, but Kennedy did. So great defensive effort by the Thunderbolts. And we've got a timeout on the field, 22-0, our score, Thunderbolts lead. 7 seconds left to go here till halftime. Thunderbolts 22, Cavaliers nothing. Cavaliers want to get one play off. They take the timeout.
I guess they figured since they had 3 timeouts and 1 left, they might as well burn it.
I formation, receiver split wide left and right. Dorsey the quarterback, handoff to the fullback, and the plunge straight ahead out to the 25, out to the 27-yard line. And the clock runs out. That is the end of the first half. Our score at the end of the first half, the Oregon Thunderbolts 22, the Washington Cavaliers nothing.
Dinner keep on choreograph the game?
Oh, remember, I got to leave now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I got to leave. So.
On your way out.
Behind us. Oh.
This back now.
Oh man,
I haven't felt this ice cream for 45 minutes this morning.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome back for the start of the second half. Washington kickoff. Potts with a kickoff. Fielded by Andre Harris at the 14, out to the 20, out to 25, 30, and hit hard and forward to the 36-yard line, maybe the 37. So the Thunderbolts will start on offense to start the second half, leading 22-0, scoring all 22 points in the second quarter, and the spot will be at the 35-yard line. Wade Sparks, quarterback for the Thunderbolts. Wade quarterback the second quarter where the Thunderbolts got all 22 points. So the plan is to play Wade this quarter and Ryan Ivanoff back again in the fourth quarter. The up back, Alonzo Harden. The deep back, Calvin Simpkins. Receiver split wide left and right. Sparks the quarterback. Sparks drops straight back to throw. Going to throw on the outside. Looks, has a man open out there and complete. A circus catch out there by Rod Nightingale. And Nightingale got up, left the ball on the ground, and the referee had not blown the whistle, and kind of a scuffle for the ball, and the referee has ruled that Washington has come up with the ball. Now that's a strange situation. Nightingale, 35 yards on the pass completion, got up, the ball on the ground, walked away from the ball, and then there's a scuffle over on the side for the ball, and the referee has ruled that it is a fumble, and the Cavaliers have possession. You can hear down on the sidelines a lot of people saying that's really kind of a high school call, and the Thunderbolt coaching staff is really upset with that. So it is first down Cavaliers on the change of possession on the long pass completion to Nightingale. And Cavaliers will start on the 26-yard line, 1st and 10, I-back formation. Kennedy the deep back, Dorsey the quarterback. They are split wide to the left. Dorsey with the long count. The handoff to Kennedy. Kennedy straight up the middle. Kennedy out to the 30 and out to the 32-yard line. And a gain on the play for Paul Kennedy.
I hope that wasn't momentum for the Cavaliers. That
and we're waiting for the spot. Now the referee moved back to the 27, but now steps back out to the 31. So a gain of 5 on the play for Paul Kennedy. 2nd and 5 coming up for the Cavaliers. Again, I don't think I've ever seen a stranger situation on a football field and a receiver get up, lay the ball down, and a couple of people kick it around and the referee rule it a fumble, and then Cavalier ball. 2nd and 5, I formation. Receivers again wide left and right. Hand off to the tailback, and that's Rex Salsater. And Salsater gets a couple. Salsater on the carry. The spot will be at the 39-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Cavaliers. First offensive possession here in the second half. Cavaliers with No points up on the board so far, really. Not generated much offense at all in the first half. In fact, they were very late coming out after halftime because they were down in the locker room talking. Kennedy at the tailback this time, and he has the great speed on the sweep plays. Dorsey steps up. The snap, the handoff, straight ahead is Kennedy. Kennedy has the first down. Paul Kennedy out to the 39-yard line, and that will be a Cavalier first down. So 11:51 left to go here in the third quarter, and the Cavaliers get the first down of the quarter. Paul Kennedy on the carry for 4. We'll see if the Cavaliers keep it on the ground. They did not have much success in the first half passing. And a lot of that attributable to the great pass rush that the Thunderbolts got on Willie Dorsey. Same formation, high back formation. Kennedy the deep back, the handoff to Kennedy, straight ahead, a big hole. Kennedy across midfield, Kennedy to the 45 and down to the 43, to the 42. 19 yards on the blast play by Paul Kennedy. Just the old tailback blast play off tackle. The up back clears a hold and the tailback right behind him, and 19 yards on the carry that time for Paul Kennedy. And he has great speed. Line of scrimmage is the 42. Receivers split wide left and right. And right now you can see the Cavaliers are alternating Rick Saltsater and Paul Kennedy at the tailback position. Saltsater in there now. Backers up close this time. Dorsey, the long count, fakes the handoff to Saltsater, wants to throw on the outside, has a man open out there and caught and dropped down around the 15-yard line. Had it in his hands. And that's number 17, Marvin Jones. And that time Dorsey put the ball right on the money. Incomplete. And it'll bring up second down. Dorsey had trouble in the first half getting the ball on the money, but he laid that one right out there for Marvin Jones. Jones got a hand on it, bobbled it, got another hand on it, and then dropped it. 2nd and 10 from the 42. Receivers wide left and right. Kennedy, the tailback now. Dorsey, the handoff to Kennedy. Kennedy hit at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be thrown back for a loss. .58, Robert Kellis in on the tackle for the Thunderbolts. And that will be a loss, well, a loss of 1. 3rd down and 11 for the Cavaliers. .950 left to go here in the third quarter. Rex Saltsater, the deep back. Mike Farley, the up back. Jones split wide to the right this time. Ricky Reed split wide to the left. Dorsey fakes the handoff, rolls left, looks going to throw on the outside to the left. He has a man out there. Complete down to 5-yard line to Ricky Reed. And double coverage on Reed that time, and the ball a little bit underthrown. Reed came back through the defenders and came up with a catch. And 37 yards on the pass completion from Willie Dorsey to Ricky Reed. And first down and goal for the Cavaliers at the 5. So this is the first time the Cavaliers have been inside the red zone. And it is on their first offensive possession here in the second half. First and goal from the 5. Reed will split to the left. Jones will split to the right. The up back is Farley. The deep back is Kennedy. Cavaliers like to run the sweep play right on this series. Let's see if it's Kennedy to the right. Dorsey wants to throw the fade pattern on the outside to Jones. Complete. Touchdown. The fade pattern from Dorsey to Jones for 5 yards for the Cavalier touchdown. And that cuts the lead to 22-6. Let's see if the Cavaliers go for 2. 3 scores could get them back in this. 3 8-point scores could get the Cavaliers right back in the game. (22-6) our score. And a perfectly thrown ball that time by Willie Dorsey to Marvin Jones on the fade pattern. It almost looked like Randall Cunningham and Chris Carter back in the days for the Philadelphia Eagles. Nobody ran that fade pattern better. And the Cavaliers are going to go for 2. In close, double tight end formation. Reed split wide to the left. They have the big back formation, and there's a handoff to the up back straight ahead. And gonna be short. They put the big guy in that time, Scott Domingo, the 6'1", 315 defensive lineman, and the Thunderbolts come up with a stop. So with 8:07 left to play in the third, it's 22-6 Thunderbolts. 8:07 left to play in the third. Chris Potts to kick off. Deep is Glenn Bell, Andre Harris. Harris fields it, drops it, picks it back up at the 6, out to the 10, the 15, out to the 25, gets a wall, out to the 30, out to the 35, cuts back inside, still on his feet across the 40 and out to the 44-yard line. Andre Harris that time, 40 yards on the kickoff return, gets out to the 45-yard line. And the Thunderbolts will start on offense, having given up their first points here of the game, that 5-yard fade pattern from Dorsey to Jones. Now let's see on the first offensive possession, the Thunderbolts can get something going. If you remember, they started the second half here, and the long play from Sparks to Nightingale, the dropped football and the strange call, resulted in that first score for the Washington Cavaliers. I-back formation. Sparks the quarterback, receivers wide left and right. Wants to throw across the middle, complete to the tight end, inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. And Morgan Will to the tight end, right across the middle. And a big first down, Sparks to Will. And the spot will actually be the 31-yard line. .24 yards that time on the pass completion from Wade Sparks to Morgan Will. I-back formation, and we've got a safety blitz that time, much before the snap. That's going to be an offsides against the Cavaliers. We'll mark it off 5 yards. The offside. Defensive encroachment. You could see that time clearly that the safety was coming on a blitz and just trying to time the snap from center. First and 5 for the Thunderbolts at the 26-yard line. I-back formation. Sparks, the handoff to the tailback, straight ahead. Big hole at Simpkins. Simpkins inside the 20, inside the 15. And down to the 11. 15 yards on the carry that time for Calvin Simpkins. And a first down for the Thunderbolts at the 11. 6:30 left to go here. Third quarter, 22-6 Thunderbolts lead.
for the 2 hot dogs closest to you will be number 632. That's 632.
Will shifts strong side right. Simpkin moves up in the slot on the left. Sparks wants to throw, rolls right. He has a man open in the end zone. Can't see him, now lets it go, and incomplete. Down in the corner, Anthony Jordan waving his hands. Sparks couldn't get the ball to him. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 11.
Our next number is 755.
Andre Harris checks in. What's that? Oh. What should I say?
628.
We did lose Drew. Second down and 10 from the 11. Sparks hands off to the up back. And down to about the 7. Alonzo Harden on the carry. We'll spot it at the 7. 3rd and 6. Glenn Bell checks in at the tailback.
Glenn Bell checks in for the TBolts.
3rd down and 5.
Number 630. That's 630.
Bell will be the up back. Simpkins the deep back. Harris split to the right. Rod Nightingale split to the left. Sparks wants to throw the slant pattern. Here comes Nightingale right on the money. Sparks to Nightingale for 6 yards and the touchdown. And that will take us to 28-6. And a great slant pattern that time by Rod Nightingale. Just cut in from the left corner, right across the middle, and Sparks with the ball right on the money. Brian Vandenacker in to try the extra point. Ryan Ivanoff will hold. The snap down. Vandenacker with the kick. Right through the middle. 5:03 left to go in the 3rd. Our score, Thunderbolts 29, Cavaliers 6. The kickoff fielded by an up back at the 30 and out to the 34-yard line. First and 10 Cavaliers. 4:38 left to go here, 3rd quarter. 29-6 now. Thunderbolts lead. Willie Dorsey the quarterback. Paul Kennedy the deep back. The handoff to Kennedy straight ahead. And this time linebackers step up and nail Kennedy. A gain of about 3. Aaron Dressler that time filled the middle. Stopped Kennedy for a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 coming up. Reed splits wide to the left. Jones wide to the right. Dorsey has been much more efficient in the second half here on throwing the ball. Rex Saltsater, the deep back. A handoff to Saltsater straight up into the middle and out to the 41-yard line. A gain of 4. Lonnie Bowden on the tackle that time in the middle. 3rd down and about 4 for the Cavaliers. 3:15 left to go in the 3rd.
And the
We'll see if the Thunderbolts stick with the plans. The plans are now to play Wade Sparks this quarter, Ryan Ivanoff the fourth quarter. And the Thunderbolts have scored all 29 points with Wade Sparks at the helm. I formation, receivers wide left and right. Dorsey fakes a handoff, the bootleg, the naked bootleg out to the right, and he'll have the first down and close to midfield. And that was a bootleg play the whole way. A design play for the quarterback carry. And Willie Dorsey comes up with the first down at the Cavalier 49-yard line. A big guy to bring down, 6'1", 230. First and 10 Cavaliers still in their territory at the 49-yard line. And I don't know what the Cavaliers talked about at halftime. They stayed in that locker room a long time, but they certainly have played much more efficiently on offense in the second half. And they've stayed with the same basic formation the whole third quarter. Reed split left, Jones split right. Kennedy and Saltsater have alternated at the quarterback, and we got a flag and down the line of scrimmage. And we got contact. Cavaliers will back it up 5, so instead of first and 10, it's now first and 15. You can see the referee looking right down the line of scrimmage, watching that. Picked out the penalty. First and 15.
First up, the first down at 15 yards.
Dorsey set at the line of scrimmage. Barks out the signals to the wide receiver, changing the play. Wants to throw across the middle, does. Incomplete, almost picked off out there. Almost picked off, tipped by the intended receiver, and then almost picked off by the Thunderbolts. And that'll bring up second and 15 with 1:12 left to go in the third. Second and 15. Thunderbolts bring in an extra defensive back. This time, Kennedy going to split wide to the left. Now, that's the first time we've seen him split out a wide receiver. Saltsater, the deep back, split wide left and right. Kennedy with the great speed. We'll see if Dorsey's going to go to him on the outside on the left. And right now, they drop off double coverage. A penalty down at the line of scrimmage. Dorsey wants to throw, throws it away. No one out there. And you can see a couple of the Thunderbolts saying, what about intentional grounding there? Well, that's not the call, but there is a flag at the line of scrimmage. I don't think it could be on the Thunderbolts. They were dropping off into coverage. A meeting of the minds. Here comes the call. And it looks like they're going to back it up against the Cavaliers. There's been no signal yet from the referee. We have 1:09 left to go here in the third quarter. 29-6 our score. Here's the signal. Illegal procedure. And we're going to back it up 5 yards. That'll take it back to the 39-yard line. Now it'll be second down and 20. Second and 20, and we got a timeout on the field. 29-6 our score. Second down and 20. Cavaliers. Kennedy split wide left. Last time Dorsey wanted to go to him out there. Handoff Saltsater straight ahead. Saltsater crossed the 40 out to the 44. A gain of about 5, but he needed 20, so it'll bring up third down and 15. Clock running with about 55 seconds left to go here. We'll try to make sure that we anticipate the horn this time.
I think they did away with the horn.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope they did away with the horn. It caught us by surprise at the end of the first quarter and almost caused us all to fall over the rail here. Third down and 15. The ball on the 44-yard line. Cavaliers They split Jones wide to the right, Kennedy wide to the left. Tailback this time is Jerome Christian. There's the handoff to Christian. Christian, the stutter step ahead, and he'll get out close to the 49, the original line of scrimmage. So Christian gets 5 on that carry, but it'll bring up 4th and 10 as the Cavaliers just able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Start of the 4th quarter. Thunderbolts lead the Cavaliers 29-6. Punt formation. Jones, the kick, a short kick, very short kick. And it bounces back and going to be downed at the 45. The line of scrimmage was the 49. With the bounce, a 4-yard punt. So the Thunderbolts get a good break here to start the 4th quarter on the 4-yard punt. I believe that was the first punt for Marvin Jones, and so his punting average for the night, 4 yards. The kick went straight up, bounced at the 40, and then headed back. And Thunderbolt's going to stick with the plan. Ryan Ivanoff in at quarterback. Morgan Will shifts into strong side right. The tailback is Calvin Simpkins, split wide left and right. There's the handoff to the up back across midfield. And that's Alonzo Harden. Harden picks up 7 into Cavalier territory at the 48. Second and 3 coming up for the Thunderbolts. Second and 3. Will shifts into strong side right. Ivanoff, the pitch to the tailback Simpkins, cuts inside to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, 30. He's gone. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. 47-yard touchdown for Calvin Simpkins. And once Calvin got behind the linebackers, he was gone. No flags down. It's a score. 35-6 our score.
That kind of ruined the comeback for
Speed kills, and Calvin Simpkins had it that time. Brian Vandenacker in to try the point after touchdown. Ivanoff to hold. Again, 35-6 our score. They're short a player. Ivanoff is screaming that they need another player. They're trying to get somebody in, and now they do. He was yelling at the bench, left wing. They needed somebody on the left wing. Now they have a player in. Sal Corona runs in quickly. Vandenacker to try the point after touchdown. The snap, a low snap, it's fumbled. Ivanoff picks it up, going to go for 2, throws underneath, incomplete. And so the point after touchdown fails with 13:36 left to go in the game. Thunderbolts lead 35-6. Deep, Kennedy fields it over his head, goes back into the end zone. No, yes, Kennedy's going to bring it back out at the 5, at the 10, at the 15. Hit, surges forward to the 22. And Paul Kennedy dropped that ball. It went into the end zone. Kennedy made the decision to run it out. He could have just, well, no, he touched it upfield, so he had to run that one out. Kennedy gets out to the 21-yard line. So nice job by Paul Kennedy, at least, to get back to the 21-yard line. Cavaliers will start on offense. They trailed at halftime 22-0. Outscored in the third quarter 13-6. But you can say this for the Cavaliers, they have played much, much better here in the second half. I'm Dave Hall filling in, and want to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to do this, to bring you Oregon Thunderbolt football. Worked with Andrew in the first half, and he had some matters to attend to, so. I-back formation, Kennedy the deep back. Dorsey, the handoff to Kennedy. Kennedy steps inside tackle, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The initial hit there by Aaron Dressler. Also down at the bottom of the pile. Let's see, as they get up. James Hilliard down there also. So good job by the middle for the Thunderbolts. No gain, 2nd and 10 coming up. Second and 10. "12 minutes left to go here in the game." I-back formation. Kennedy now the deep back, and he has played all over. He's lined up in the slot, he's lined up on the outside, now at the tailback position. And there's the handoff again to Kennedy. Kennedy may have got back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like he lost a yard. 3rd down coming up. No gain on the play. And we've got an injury on the field. And we'll take a timeout with the injured player down on the field. 11:21 left to go here in the game. 35-6 our score. Thunderbolts leave the injured player off the field. It'll bring up 3rd down and 11 for the Cavaliers. Dorsey, the quarterback. Saltsater, the up back. Kennedy, the deep back. Jones wide to the left. Reed wide to the right. There's the pitch to Kennedy. Kennedy rolls. Looks like he wants to throw. Stops. Does throw. Has a man out there. Complete to Jones, and Jones drops it. Right around the 40-yard line. The halfback option pass. And we've got another player down on the field, down around the 40. Well, he looks like he's going to get up. But an incompleted pass, and it's going to bring up 4th down. Now, I did not see it. Well, there is a flag. There's a flag back behind the line of scrimmage. Now, if this is against the Cavaliers, my guess is that the Thunderbolts will decline the penalty and take the ball. Let's see. They're talking to the Thunderbolts. Here comes the referee with a signal. It's a holding call on the Cavaliers, declined by the Thunderbolts, and the Thunderbolts will take the ball on the punt. Kennedy that time with a pass to Jones, and it looked like it was good. Jones with about a couple of strides on the defenders, but dropped the ball. So Jones in punt formation for the Cavaliers. Andre Harris back to receive. He already has an 85-yard touchdown return on a punt. And this time he's standing at his own 37-yard line. There's the snap. The punt almost blocked. Gets it away. Another short punt. And they'll let it bounce, and it gets out to the 42-yard line. The line of scrimmage was the 20, so 22 yards on the punt. And you have to say the punts have absolutely killed the Washington Cavaliers. Both teams have not punted the ball well tonight, but particularly the Cavaliers have not punted the ball well. At 22 yards, that might be one of the longer punts that the Cavaliers have actually got off.
Yeah, I like that 4 yards.
Ryan Ivanoff, the quarterback. 42 yards away from another score, 1st and 10 with 10:24 left to go here in the game. Glenn Bell, the up back. Calvin Simpkins, the deep back, and Simpkins with over 200 yards rushing last week had a 47-yarder here just a little while ago for a touchdown. Ivanoff wants to throw, throws, batted at the line of scrimmage and knocked down. Incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Sparks that time wanted to go over the middle. Somebody got a hand up and batted the ball down. Anthony Walker in the game. He split wide to the left. Split wide to the right. Henry Newsom. So Walker to the left, Newsom to the right. Bell the up back, Simpkins the deep back, Ryan Ivanoff the quarterback. There's the pitch. Simpkins turns inside, cuts back to the outside, gets a hole at the 30, at the 25, cuts inside at the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 24 yards on the carry. Now let me back up here. I said Simpkins, and we'll back up. I believe that's Lionel Chapman. Lionel Chapman on the carry. All right, Simpkins out at 11, 18 in the game, and that is Lionel Chapman from Gresham High School, 24 yards on the carry. Glenn Bell, the up back. 1st and 10, Thunderbolts. The snap, Ivanoff wants to throw, throws to the outside, has Newsom out there, complete touchdown, Henry Newsom. 19 yards from Ivanoff to Newsom and another Thunderbolt touchdown. That touchdown coming with 9:24 left to go in this one. And makes our score 41-6. So Ryan Ivanoff wastes no time with the first down inside the red zone. 19 yards on the pass completion to Henry Newsom. And as a PSU grad, I've seen Henry Newsom make many, many outstanding plays for the Portland State Vikings. And there, a 19-yard pass completion. New center in, number 79, that's Jason Lang. Vandenacker in for the point after touchdown. Ivanoff to hold, there's the snap, it's down. Vandenacker up and right through. So Vandenacker with a point after touchdown with 9:24 to go, our score. Oregon Thunderbolts 42, Washington Cavaliers 6. Set to kick off. It'll be Mark Savarich to kick off for the Thunderbolts as they now lead in this one 42-6 with 9:24 left to go. Kennedy set to receive. Actually to the other back, it's number 6, and that is Jeff Koskas. Koskas fumbles the ball out to the 40-yard line, but the Cavaliers come up with it. So Jeff Koskas in the game now. On the kickoff return, fields it at the 10, out to the 35, and then coughs it up, but recovered by the Cavaliers. And we've got some extracurricular activity going on. Referees quickly step in to break that up. And actually, there's a flag down at the 36-yard line. So we'll wait for the referee to pick that up. They pick it up. Now there's no indication, so they just pick the flag up. No penalty. The ball sits right at the 40-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Cavaliers there. And the Thunderbolts now with a lot of new players in the game. Trying to get everybody into the game here with a 42-6 lead. Willie Dorsey at quarterback. Now Dorsey didn't start the game, but Dorsey has played well. Jake Winslow started the game, played the first quarter. Dorsey has played since then and has played, well, pretty well, particularly in the third quarter. Receivers split wide left and right, I-back formation. Dorsey wants to throw the little slant pattern, complete to Reed. And the signal from the referee here on the outside was incomplete. It is incomplete. Looked like Reed scooped that ball, but then the referee's signal on the outside was he did not catch it. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10. Second and 10 Cavaliers. The ball spotted right at the 40-yard line. Morgan split wide to the right. The tailback, Jeff Koskas. I think that's the first time we've seen him at the tailback position. Dorsey still the quarterback. Dorsey wants to roll, looks downfield, pump fakes, and now under pressure and gets out to the 44-yard line. Great defensive pursuit that time by Jeff Jones. And Dorsey lost a portion of his uniform out there. In fact, his uniform's come apart. He's going to have to get a new jersey. And so we have a timeout on the field while Dorsey gets a new jersey. Is it Kennedy? It is. Welcome back. 7:54 left to go in this one, and now we've talked about Paul Kennedy being all over the field, running back, flanker. Now Paul is in at quarterback. So Kennedy, the quarterback for the Cavaliers. Now I think Willie Dorsey, I think he put on a new jersey, and he may actually have number 65 on. We'll check on that in just a minute. But Kennedy, the quarterback now. Receiver split wide left and right. 3rd and 6. Kennedy, the draw play to Koskas. Koskas up to the 49. He's going to be about 2 short of the first down. So Koskas on the carry to the 49. And frankly, I don't expect the Cavaliers to punt at this time. Trailing 42-6. 4th down and about 2. And the way they've been punting, I don't expect them to punt. I expect them to go for it here. 4th and maybe about 1.5 yards for the first down. Kennedy will stay at quarterback. Receivers wide left and right. And the keeper play that time by Kennedy. Kennedy hit at the line of scrimmage and knocked backwards and then surges forward. And it is a first down. A couple of Thunderbolts tried to shoot the gap that time and time the snap, and were in the backfield quickly, but ran by Kennedy. And Kennedy stepped forward a couple of feet, actually got 5 yards on the carry, and picks up the first down. So it is first down Cavaliers at the Thunderbolt 45. 6:33 left to go here. 42-6 our score. Thunderbolts led 22-0 at the half. Have outscored the Cavaliers 20-6 here in the second. Jones wide left, Reed wide to the right. Kennedy the quarterback. Kennedy fumbles the snap, now rolls right, looks, wants to throw, throws on the outside and overthrown and out of bounds. So Paul Kennedy on the throw, and we've got a flag after the play. Somebody walked by the referee, either said something or maybe we had some pushing on someone. Let's see, here's the call. No, it's going to go against the Thunderbolts. The penalty is going to go against the Thunderbolts. The flag is at the 45. That's the original line of scrimmage. Dead ball foul. And we're going to mark it off. We're going to mark off 15 against the Thunderbolts. Personal foul. And takes the ball all the way down to the 30. So a big penalty against the Thunderbolts. 15 yards. Takes it down to the 30. Something happened after the play, and it was a personal foul on the Thunderbolts. 1st and 10 from the 30. 5:53 left in this. And now that's Dorsey back at quarterback. Don't be fooled by the number 65. He had his 27 jersey ripped, and he went over to the sideline and put on a new jersey. So he's got on 65. There's the pitch. Koskas, the around play, coming back to Kennedy. Kennedy, and hit just beyond the line of scrimmage. The reverse play, the handoff from Dorsey to Koskas, then Koskas back to Kennedy. Kennedy running the sweep play to the right, and we've got a face mask call against the Thunderbolts. So the play gets back to the line of scrimmage. The 5-yard face mask penalty takes it up to the 25. Five-yard face mask penalty up to the 25. Still first down. Exactly 5 minutes left to go in this one. Seems strange to look down on the field and see a quarterback with 65 on their uniform, kind of reminiscent of the football in the 40s and 50s, but there's Willie Dorsey with the 65. I hate to admit I remember that. Handoff to the upback, Mike Farley. Farley gets a couple of yards, so it'll bring up second down and about 3. Actually, I was a big fan of the Cleveland Browns as a kid, and Otto Graham wore number, let me see, I'm trying to remember. I think Otto wore 77 for a while. Otto Graham did wear number 60 also, that's right. Took his team to the NFL Finals 10 straight years in a row. Second down and about 3, I formation, Dorsey the upback. Dorsey option down the line of scrimmage, the option play to Kennedy. Kennedy gets maybe 1 down to the 22, and it's going to bring up third down and 2. Third and 2, 3:33 left to go. ...23-yard line, 3rd and 3. We were just talking how strange it looks to see a quarterback with a 65 on their back. Dorsey, the quarterback. The upback is Farley. Receivers wide, left and right. The handoff to the tailback, that's Saltsater. Saltsater turns inside, really no gain, and it's going to bring up fourth down. 4th and about 2.
Carried by number 42, Russ Saltsater. On the stop, number 41, Jack Jones. And number 55, Lonnie Bowles.
It's been a struggle for the Washington Cavaliers if they can get up some more points up on the board in the last 2 minutes.
With 2:31 to play.
I know sometimes you can build from that. 4th down, 4th and about 3. Paul Kennedy will move up this time, so he moves up from tailback, steps up in the quarterback position. Dorsey shifts to the tailback. Receivers wide, left and right. Drops the ball. Kennedy dropped the ball, and the Thunderbolts have it. So shifting the quarterback and the tailback, exchanging positions. Kennedy steps up, takes the snap from center, drops the ball, and the Thunderbolts have it. And we'll see if the Thunderbolts are going to run out the clock. 2 minutes left to go here in the game. 42-6 our score. It was 22-0 at halftime. Thunderbolts have outscored them 20-6 here in the second half. Ryan Ivanoff with a big throw for a touchdown. Calvin Simpkins, a touchdown run. The 85-yard touchdown return by Andre Harris. Everybody's chipped in on the offense. Well, we're in the 2-minute warning, so we're winding down to the end. I guess if we had to pick a player of the game, it would be a pretty tough task because so many people have performed well offensively for the Oregon Thunderbolts. But if you take a look at it, the team has really moved well in the second quarter and the third quarter under the offensive direction of Wade Sparks. So my vote for offensive player of the game would go to the quarterback, Wade Sparks. Although, as I mentioned, Harris with a great game, Simpkins with a great game.
I was thinking number 9 and number 11.
Andre Harris with a great game. So all around, the skill players have performed with skill for the Oregon Thunderbolts.
Getting back to the vote on mine is where you did 9 or 11.
1st and 10, Thunderbolts. Ivanoff, the pitch, loose on the ground, and picked up by the Cavaliers by Kennedy. Kennedy in on defense, and let's see, he's close. And what's going to be the call? Kennedy picked up the loose ball and out of bounds at the 1. The pitch was fumbled. Kennedy picked it up in midair. So Paul Kennedy in on defense. He's been playing both ways. And out of bounds at the 1 yard line. So the Cavaliers do have a chance to score with 1:49 left to go in the game. I'm getting some votes here. After I made my vote for Wade Sparks, I'm getting some votes for Andre Harris, and I'm getting some votes from Calvin Simpkins. So maybe we'll have to just reconsider all of that. We'll have to find a tiebreaker somewhere.
Well, I get votes for these Birmingham players and the Washington and Cavaliers. But coming on the road, they don't have enough players, you know.
Cavaliers started off good in the third quarter and then have struggled here in the fourth. Part of that, I think, is because they've not had enough players. You look over on the sidelines, they have less than 10 reserves. Dorsey, the quarterback. Farley, the up back. Kennedy, the deep back. Let's see if they just go for the blast play. Dorsey fakes it. He has a big hole. Willie Dorsey steps in for the touchdown. The 1 yard quarterback keeper on the bootleg play for Willie Dorsey. And that makes it 42-12. And you kind of get the feeling from watching that Dorsey wanted to take that in himself. Aaron Dressler coming off the field, a twisted ankle. Cavaliers look like they're going to go for 2. 42-12 our score with 1:09 left to go here. They're going to line up Dorsey at quarterback. Domingo at the at the tailback position. Remember, he's 315 pounds. Farley the up back. Dorsey the snap. There's the handoff to Domingo, and no, he doesn't have enough foot speed to get up to the line of scrimmage, and tackled. And Calvin Armstead's up for the stop. And Calvin really is fired up about that stop. So 42-12 our score with 1:09 left to go. Cavaliers set to kick off, and the Thunderbolts anticipating an onside kick. They've got 9 people up right at the midfield stripe. And the Cavaliers kick it away. It's going to be fielded up at the 7-yard line, or up at the 30-yard line, out to the 35, out to the 40, out to the 45, and almost to midfield. And Anthony Jordan on the return almost to midfield. I want to remind you the next Thunderbolt home game is July 29th at 5 p.m. here at Hare Field as the Thunderbolts take on the Vancouver Cougars. Columbia Cougars, okay? The Columbia Cougars representing the Vancouver area. So that's the 29th here at Hare Field at 5 o'clock. 42 seconds left to go. 1st and 10, Thunderbolts. Ivanoff the quarterback. I formation. Morgan Will sets up strong side right. Receiver split wide left and right. Thunderbolts hand off to the fullback straight ahead and to the 45-yard line. And that's Jeff Jones. And the Thunderbolts just may let this one run out. 17 seconds, although they've lined up close to the line of scrimmage. They may want to run another play. The Thunderbolts are going to run another play. 10 seconds up on the clock. Wide left and right. I formation. Dropped at the line of scrimmage and stolen away. Stolen away as Ivanoff drops it, and a touchdown. What a bizarre play. Chris Potts steals the snap and goes 50 yards for the touchdown with no time on the clock. And it's going to count. And what that means, too, is we have to come out and do an extra point with no time on the clock. So 42-18 our score now. Potts picked that ball right out of midair on the snap.
I don't know if I got it on the camera or not. He just told me, but I saw him running, so I
Incredible.
Maybe that's it. They won't
And it looks like we're not going to have the extra point. So that's how it ends. The snap picked off in midair by Potts. He races 50 yards for the touchdown. Our final score, the Oregon Thunderbolts 42, the Washington Cavaliers